Long ago, the earth was empty except for a perfect garden. Adam opened his eyes for the very first time. Rivers ran clear, flowers glowed, and the air smelled sweet. Animals came close without fear, and everything felt alive. Adam felt joy, but also a quiet emptiness inside. Then a voice spoke. "This garden is yours. Live in it, but be careful." Adam walked alone, wondering why he felt incomplete. Then one day he saw a woman standing near the trees. Her presence brought him peace he had never known. "Do not fear," she said gently. "We are together now." They walked side by side, discovering the beauty around them. But far away, unseen eyes watched them with deep anger. The one who watched was the devil, full of pride and hate. He had refused a command and lost his place of honor. Now he swore to mislead Adam and his companion. "I will cause them to fall," he whispered in anger. He studied them carefully, waiting for the right moment, and slowly he began to move closer. Days passed in peace inside the garden. Adam and Eve ate freely and lived without fear. They spoke with calm hearts and clear minds. Every corner of the garden felt safe and welcoming. But one place always stood quiet and untouched. It was the place of the forbidden tree. Adam remembered the clear command given to him. "Do not go near that tree," the voice had said. "It will bring harm and sorrow to you both." He repeated these words often to Eve. They agreed to stay far away from it. But the devil was waiting for this moment. One day, the devil approached them quietly. He spoke in a soft and friendly voice. "Why avoid this tree?" he asked gently. "It is not danger, it is a gift of knowledge." Eve looked at the fruit, unsure and curious. Adam felt a deep unease growing inside him. The devil returned again and again with the same words. "You are missing something great," he insisted. "Why would you be kept away from it?" Eve began to think more about the tree. Adam tried to push the thought away, but the idea had already taken root. The devil made a bold promise one day. "If you eat, you will live forever," he said. "You will become greater than you are now." Eve's eyes filled with wonder and confusion. Adam remembered the warning, but hesitated, and the devil knew he was close to winning. They stood before the tree, silent and unsure. The fruit shone brighter than ever before. Eve slowly reached out her hand. Adam's heart raced as he watched her. He wanted to stop her, but did not move. And in that moment, the choice was made. Eve took a bite of the fruit. Adam followed, unable to resist. At once, everything around them changed. The peace they felt before disappeared. Their hearts filled with fear and shame, and they knew something had gone terribly wrong. They looked at each other in silence. The garden no longer felt the same. They rushed to cover themselves with leaves. Their hands trembled with fear and regret. The devil stepped back, satisfied with his plan. Then a powerful voice called out to them. "Did I not warn you about this?" the voice said. "And did I not tell you about your enemy?" Adam and Eve could not deny the truth. They had made a serious mistake. Their hearts were filled with sorrow, and they knew what was coming next. Adam spoke with a trembling voice.
"Our Lord, we have wronged ourselves," he said. "If we are not forgiven, we are lost." Eve stood beside him, full of regret. They both hoped for mercy and guidance, but the decision had already been made. "Go down to the earth," came the command. "This place is no longer your home. You will live there for a time. You will face struggle and hardship, and you will have an enemy among you." Then the world around them began to change. The garden faded and the earth appeared. The soft ground became rough and hard. The air changed, no longer calm and perfect. Adam felt himself falling into the unknown. Everything he knew was gone in a moment. And when he stood again, he was alone. Adam looked around in confusion and fear. "Eve," he called, but there was no answer. Mountains stood tall, and the wind blew cold. He realized they had been separated. His heart filled with deep sadness, and far away, Eve was also alone. Eve opened her eyes in a distant place. The earth was harsh and unfamiliar. She called Adam's name again and again, but only silence answered her cries. Tears filled her eyes as she walked forward. She did not know where to go. Night fell and darkness covered the earth. Adam had never seen such darkness before. He felt fear as strange sounds filled the air. He found a place to rest, but could not sleep. His thoughts were filled with regret, and he wondered if he would ever see Eve again. The next day, Adam searched for food and water. Nothing was easy like it was in the garden. He had to work and struggle for every step. Slowly, he began to understand this new life. Each moment taught him something new, but his heart still longed for Eve. Eve also learned to survive on her own. She walked across land and through forests. She faced hunger, fear, and loneliness, but she did not give up hope. She believed they would meet again, and that belief kept her moving forward. Days turned into many long days and nights. Adam traveled across valleys and hills. He followed rivers, hoping they would guide him. Each step was filled with effort and pain, but he refused to stop searching, because somewhere Eve was waiting. One day, Adam saw footprints on the earth. They were not his, someone else's had been there. His heart began to beat faster with hope. He followed the marks across the land. Step by step, he moved forward carefully, not knowing how close he really was. At the same time, Eve felt something change. She sensed she was no longer far away. She began walking in a new direction. Her steps felt guided, not random anymore. Hope grew stronger with every step, as if she was being led somewhere. Adam climbed a hill and looked ahead. Far in the distance, he saw a figure moving. He could not see clearly, but his heart knew. He began to run, calling out loudly. The figure stopped and turned slowly, and in that moment, everything held still. Eve heard the voice and recognized it instantly. "Adam," she cried as she ran towards him. They met at last after a long separation. Relief and joy filled their hearts completely. They were no longer alone in this world, but their test on earth was just beginning. Together, they began to build a life. They found shelter and shared their strength. Each day brought new challenges to face, but together they were stronger than before. They remembered their mistake often, and they worked to do better. Life on earth was not easy or simple. They had to work for everything they needed. They learned patience through hardship. They learned gratitude through struggle. Each moment taught them a lesson, and those lessons shaped their future. The devil did not forget about them. He continued to whisper from a distance. He tried again to lead them the wrong way, but now they understood his tricks. They were more careful and aware, yet the danger was never truly gone.
Time passed, and their family began to grow. Children were born, bringing new hope. Adam and Eve cared for them with love. They taught them how to live and survive. They shared their story as a warning, but not every heart listened the same way. As the children grew, differences appeared. Some followed the truth, while others did not. Small arguments slowly became serious problems. Adam watched carefully, feeling concern. He knew that life would bring many tests, and not all choices would be easy. Adam felt the responsibility grow heavier. He was not only living, he was guiding others. Every word he spoke now mattered more. Every action became an example. He remembered his own mistake deeply, and he feared others might fall the same way. He gathered his family and spoke clearly. Your enemy is real. Do not forget that. He will try to mislead you step by step. Do not follow him as we once did. His voice was serious and full of care, and his words stayed in their hearts. Years continued to pass on the earth. Life became more familiar, yet still difficult. They adapted, learned, and grew stronger. But the memory of the garden remained. It lived quietly in their hearts, a reminder of what once was. Sometimes Adam would sit and think deeply. He remembered the peace of the garden. He remembered the moment of choice and the lesson it had taught him. Regret remained, but so did wisdom, and that wisdom guided his path. Despite everything, hope never left them. They believed in mercy and forgiveness. They continued to pray and seek guidance. Their hearts stayed connected to what is right. Even through struggle, they found peace, and that peace gave them strength. Adam and Eve taught their children carefully. They shared every lesson they had learned. They spoke about truth, patience, and trust. They warned them about the devil's tricks. Their story became a guide for others, a story that would never be forgotten. Life on earth remained a test for all. Each person faced choices every day. Some choices were easy, others were not. The struggle between right and wrong continued, just as it had in the beginning, and it would continue for generations. Adam's story became the beginning of humanity. His journey shaped the path of all people. From one mistake came many lessons. From one fall came a new beginning. His life was not just about loss, it was about learning and rising again. In his later days, Adam looked back on his life. He saw both joy and hardship in his journey. He understood the wisdom behind every event. Even the fall had a purpose and meaning. It led to growth, patience, and strength, and that truth gave him deep peace. The story of Adam did not end with him. It continued through every generation after. Each person carried part of that beginning. The lessons remained clear and powerful, a reminder of choice, struggle, and hope. And the journey of humanity goes on.